everything. I don't know if this is like, he loves cameras, but he was able to get all this set up. So Vince, we're gonna see your best free motion skills.
Oh,
Come on, we're looking for feathers. He's looking at me like, you be quiet, Jessica. Optional, yes. I'm so excited Vince is here. Am I fine standing where I'm standing, Elias? Can people see me on the internet? Okay, fabulous, love that for me. We're streaming, yes. I'm so happy that Vince is here because Vince called me a few weeks ago in the middle of, I think we had Sandra Swick here, and so it was a super busy event, and I was like, yeah, come, let's do it. We need to do training and everything, and I don't think I've sat down all day today, or Vince has seen me hardly at all. I've been here, but I haven't sat down much, so we are really excited he's here because, and I've said this right every single time, you are the Q-Series Development Manager for Bernina.
Yes, for the United States.
For the United States. It's a promotion.
Kinda.
Kinda.
I didn't see any.
Paul watches everything that we do here, so no. Paul, they obviously trusted you to be in charge of this amazing division, and I've given a little backstory to everybody about the Q-Series and how it's come about, but I hope that you can give a better, longer version of that to everyone, maybe a more accurate version than I can give, because I just say anecdotally what you've told me in the past. I was actually having a conversation with someone earlier today. They were in our Surger Club, our Bernina Surger Club, and they wanted to know why am I just selling Bernina? And I have a really good answer for that, and I think that you can help attest to that too. But one of the points that I talked about was how Bernina has the best of everything now, and they really, really, truly do. And it's been, I've been into Bernina for a long time, since that cotton and steel machine came out, and even before then, but no one in my family ever sold Bernina. So when my mom first started selling it, I was so excited to be able to learn about the product. But they really have the best of everything now, the best top of the line, the best long arm, the best serger, everything is the best. So I'm excited you're here. I told them in the email, I don't know if you read our emails, to bring their hard-hitting questions. So be nice to Vince today. He is live on the internet. But I told everybody, bring their questions. But mostly I just want you to be able to speak to what the differences in a Bernina are. And I think a lot of that stems from the backstory of how Bernina even got into the long arm division to begin with. And hopefully we can go from there. Before Vince starts, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of information, and I tried to pass it out and put as much as we could on these sheets. So if you have questions, please feel free to come find myself. Let me introduce some other people while we're here. I'm a mess today. It is like my allergies and everything's going. After that rain, there was so much pollen on my back thing, and my dogs just keep bringing it in. I wake up every morning like, ugh. But let me introduce some other people. So of course, Elias right here. Andy in the back. Andy is not new to Bernina, but she's new to the Bernina long arms. And if you haven't got to interact, Larry Cohen, I couldn't start the event without you. Andy's new in the back. She's amazing. Not new to the store. She's been a customer for a while, but she, and is not new to Bernina either, but she is new to playing with the Bernina long arms, and that girl just takes things bull by the horns. She's going to learn every single thing about it. She will leave no stone unturned. She's phenomenal. She's one of my little secret weapons here at the store, besides Janet. You guys all know Janet, of course. But she has been, I think she's found something that even Vince didn't know earlier today and had questions. So if you haven't met Andy yet, she's a phenomenal quilter. She's a quilt for hire quilter, but she also does it for fun as well. She's great at instruction. She's happy to learn with you and for you. So she's a really great person to have in the store. So if you have any questions, feel free to go talk to Andy as well. She's very knowledgeable about what she does. Janet is doing a lesson. Haha, we didn't know that she was going to be doing a lesson, but she's usually here. And if you haven't met Janet, she's phenomenal too. She does all of our Surger clubs and our 990 club that has been really, really fun. And she's been having a great time with that. I did not know she was going to be doing a lesson this afternoon, so I'm sorry. She's probably having a lot of FOMO right now, but she is also really helpful too. And of course, Jackie. Hello, Miss Karen. I gave Larry the introduction, but I'll give you one too. And of course, Jackie up front, she's awesome too. I am learning everything as we go, so I learn with you guys, okay? So every time we have Sandra come, or we just had, we didn't have Vanita. Who was just here, you guys? Carrie, I wanted to say Kat, but that's Sandra's daughter. We just had Carrie Curley here doing a 990 event. She was awesome. Y'all put her through the ringer. She was so exhausted by the end of the event. So I think Diane was the only one that was there, but she was, she was exhausted. She went home and she really worked for Bernina that weekend. But we're always bringing in fun new people, so that's my segue into the first thing I have on this sheet here. As you know, in January of next year, yes, January 2026, if we make it there. I don't know, Elias was testing the microphones earlier and it sounded like there was an explosion outside. And my first thought was, oh, the world really is ending, okay? So January 2026, we have Amanda Murphy coming. And it's not just Amanda. Amanda's coming, Pam Macy's coming, Debbie Lashbrook will be here teaching, Sandra Swick's coming back, Sylvain will be here. If you haven't met Sylvain, I'm crazy for bringing Sylvain in all the time. But he's our really awesome foot expert. He knows, and he's been with Bernina for years and years and years. So the whole Bernina team will be here. That's in January. We are filling up spots for that, but I think that we put on here that we're doing a discount for you guys for that one. I don't know where it is. Did it make it onto the sheet? I'm looking at it for the first time. It didn't. That's okay. There's a early bird special that goes through July, so if you want to save $100 on that, it will definitely sell out. It will be here and one of the empty spaces in the complex, so it's a really big event. It's not just, it won't all fit in this one little area here.
Oh, say something here real quick.
Yes.
Can you
So
hear me?
yeah, hit yours.
It is on. Green.
It's green. Maybe bring it up a little bit.
Bring it here.
Yeah, like closer to your shirt collar or something.
Okay, can you hear me? You still can't hear me?
Here, you can have mine.
Well, I just want to say real quick that these events, we've been doing them all over for about 3 or 4 years now. We've been doing them all over Bernina Nation, and they are very, very successful. You will learn a lot, and they are amazing events. And so if you can come, I'd make sure you come to this.
Yeah,
They're very good.
I did my mom's event, worked her event for free, if she's watching this, and it was a lot of work. We already have started the planning process of it, now. It's a lot of work to bring someone like Amanda Murphy in. If you don't know who she is, she's one of the top quilters. Everybody loves to watch her videos. She's hard to get, so that's why it's January. Otherwise, I would have done it sooner, but she's very hard to get, so don't miss that. The other person that we have come, can you hear it? Oh, now it's red. The other person that we have coming, and I think Vince knows her as well, is Susan Smith. If you haven't been to a Susan event, we had to reschedule her just because of our chaos of moving everything. Is that, everybody can still hear me? Okay. All of a sudden, I felt like my ear stopped. My chaos of moving and all that, but she will be back here, I think it's early June. I thought these were going to be on the front of this thing, and they're not. So Alyssa, if you're watching this, oops. But we have her coming back. Her specialty is really free motion. And I was talking to Vince about that earlier, is that she's really great with free motion, but we're looking for someone that can also add some cue match. What we're teaching here too. So she's coming in June, and I think again in September. So we have her come of this year. She's awesome. If you haven't taken a class with Susan yet, she's really, really, really well versed on all things free motion. She loves rulers and all that kind of good stuff too, so she's great. Am I fine over here? Okay, fabulous. Okay, and then the next thing is we have, while Vince is here, there's a new, and hopefully he can talk to this because I'm sure you probably led a little bit of the charge on that. There's a new skill hub for the Q-Series. I don't know if you guys know about this, but it's something that I frantically texted Vince about last week and said, is there a skill hub now? And he's like, oh yeah, it's brand new. So let me explain what skill hub is real quick before Vince gets started, because I think this is something, no matter what Bernina you own, is a really great thing to learn about. So Skill Hub is Bernina's dedication to their education that they like to do much different than any other brand. And Well, when I say we, I mean Andy has been going through the Skill Hub for the Q-Series, and she was like, every time I look over at her, she's just going, oh my gosh, it's really, really great. There's videos galore in there. There's a Skill Hub for every single type of machine that Bernina makes. Not the old ones, but anything newer, there's a Skill Hub for it. So whether you have a serger or software, even the E16, there's a skill hub for it. It's one activation code opens up one product. So if you have more than one Bernina product, you'll need more than one activation code. But once you get into the hub, however many activation codes you have will open up however many products you need in there. That was something I learned recently too. So while Vince is,
For a limited time?
it's 2 years.
2 years.
2 years, yes. ChatGPT told me that because I couldn't find it easily on the website. 2 years, and you have unlimited access to their videos. So I think that's a big difference that Bernina does as well. It's a huge process to make all those videos, edit them, and then make them accessible for you. So it's actually a pretty good price too. Usually it's $300. While Vince is here, it's on sale for half off, so it's only $150. So we've got a code for that online if you're watching, and or if Jackie checks you out up front, she can do that code, the discount for you as well. So it goes over Q-Matic. He can tell you all the fun stuff as well in that Skill Hub. So that's Skill Hub. They're on sale for half off. And then the last thing I'll tell you is, I know that Bernina is great, that you don't need service on them often. How often do you need to service these?
These long arms?
Yes.
As long as you oil the hook and clean it out after every 2 to 3 bobbins, you won't need service unless you hit a ruler, then you will. But other than that, no, you won't need it.
Well, you're really killing my sales pitch for service.
Well, it is a 5-year warranty.
It is a 5-year warranty. Something that we do different than any other store, I think, is that hi guys, welcome. Something we do different, feel free to move that. That's just mine. Put that on the floor. That big black bag. Yeah, thanks. I come in like a wrecking ball. Oh, and it's heavy. It's a workout. I come in like a wrecking ball, and that bag just goes anywhere. So something we do different than other stores is that Jesse travels. I don't know if he loves that, but the big black van that we have does go long distances. It's got 300-something thousand miles on it right now. So Jesse is really great at coming and doing house calls. So something that we're offering for discount today is there's a discount available on our service contracts. That includes picking up and dropping off. So let's say that they've got this on a frame. We'll come out, pick it up, drop it back off for you, do that whole thing so that you don't have to bring the machine in yourself. And if you've not used a service contract through Stitch House before, I can tell you it's invaluable because my people that have service contracts are always getting their machines maintained. So, and that's fine. You could do it as much as you want, but that includes picking up and dropping off, all of your one-on-ones and all that stuff if you didn't originally buy the machine from us. So it's a really great way to keep your machine happy, and that goes for 3 years. So it's a great program to keep your machine in good working order. Now, these machines don't need a lot of service. I'm sure Vince can tell you why in a second. But if you have any issues or anything, we do come out. Andy's driven 2 hours recently to someone's house and done a lesson with them. She doesn't want to do it, so hopefully we'll qualify where you guys live before we get you going. But yes, we have great service, great education, all that kind of good stuff. So everything Vince is going to tell you here, it's just a follow-up to that. I was planning on stealing some of Vince's shine and showing you guys the quilt block that we did on the 990, but I don't think he's going to love that. So
You can actually put it on a quilt.
okay, well, let me tell you real quick before he starts something cool. Did we tell you the story of this? Yeah. Okay, so I was crazy, and I bought this quilt top vintage at OSQE show, and I loved it. And when I first started quilting it, I thought, I'm going to put something different in every single block. And when I say block, I mean like something different here, 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 here. Okay, that lasted for about 20 minutes in the store, as y'all know. Okay, so I did the first 2 blocks different, and then the rest of the blocks, we did that really cute little flower pattern in. And so Andy took it home and did the rest of the borders and the sashings. It's really adorable. You can see there, it's all computerized quilting. And then she took it off the long arm and she came back and she said, do you want me to fix those 2 blocks for you? I was like, it's not a big deal, Andy, because that takes a lot of work to reload onto a long arm and everything. I said, it's fine. We'll live with it. She goes, no, no, no. I'll take the quilt file from the long arm and I'll put it into the 990 and we'll fix them. And she took the quilt file, an HQF file, into the 990 because it read it, and she was able to fix those 2 blocks for me. So I just want to say this, because I know people are trying to steal Vince's shine saying that's the 14-inch Q-Series over there, okay? But there's a reason for both. So if you are a quilter, this is way easier to quilt your quilts on than the 990. But if you make a mistake, we can now use all of our tools to play with. So I've heard people say that, and I said, I'm not going to say that because there's a reason for both. So I'm going to let Vince tell you why Bernina is so different and really great. And then if you have any questions, I haven't finished all of my tasks for today, so I'm going to run around and then I'll eventually sit down and listen with you guys, but I'll be back and hopefully Vince convinces you that Bernina is the best. Okay? Thanks, Vince.
Well, I'll do my best. Can you hear me back there? Okay, good. I have to say, yeah, these don't take a lot of service. If you take care of them and you clean them, you really don't, but that doesn't mean you won't make a mistake or you might run over something. So these service contracts are really good. If you have an opportunity to get one, you need to get it, because a lot of stores don't have those, and then you end up paying for the service or whatever. So this is something that is different. I wish the East Coast would do a little more than the West Coast does a lot of service contracts, and even in here to Texas. But let's talk about the Q-Series a little bit. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Vince Nutt. That is my real name, okay? N-U-T-T. My granddaddy always said if I didn't have that second T, I'd be like the rest of the nuts in this world. So I have to, what we do here is I try to inform you about the Q-Series, and I travel around. I am the Q-Series development manager for the United States. I go into dealers, I go into trade shows, I help the dealers show them how to do the trade shows, how to do events, train their staff on how to sell the product, and I work with the regional managers. We have 12 regional managers. I work with each regional manager to help them with their dealer if they have a Q-Series issue that we need to vet the dealer that wants to become a Q-Series dealer, and we work with them. Some of the things, I've been in the industry close to probably 17 years now, or more, and I've worked for other long arm companies, and I've actually worked for another sewing machine company. I've been with Bernina going on my 9th year, and I've been here almost as long as the Q-Series product has been with Bernina. So we've grown this division to become the 2nd largest division in Bernina. When we were hired, when I say we, me and my boss, I do have a boss who is the Q-Series, Jonathan Carlin, who is the Q-Series business manager. When he was hired, it was the 7th or 8th division in Bernina. Now we're the 2nd largest division in Bernina. So we've grown it that much. Bernina has grown to be one of the largest long arm manufacturers in the world. So we make more long arms than just about anybody. We're not the largest, but we're close. The other thing is we're the largest sewing machine manufacturer making long arms. There is no other sewing machine manufacturing making long arms. We make our own long arm. Bernina actually makes the long arm. I was trying to pull up a video, we weren't able to do it, but if you go home, you can actually Google, show me how a Bernina Q-Series is made, and it should be a video popping up, and it will show you a gentleman in Switzerland. They are each individually hand built. They're made. There's not assembly line, they're built. Okay, we have a bunch of people that build them, and they make them and they build them, and then they go through a lot of testing before they even get out of Switzerland or out of Thailand and to come to the United States. So everything here is these products are built. Now, why did Bernina decide to come up with a long arm? Well, there's a few things you need to understand about Bernina. They did a lot of testing, they did a lot of studying, they did a lot of interviews, they talked to quilters, they talked to technicians. There are three big issues that are different that every long arm company out there and dealers that sell long arms, there are three biggest service issues. Number one is timing, number two is stitch regulation, and number three is tension. So those three biggest issues, after we talked to all these technicians and talked to all these quilters, we found out those are the three biggest issues that we could fix. So we fixed them. Number one is timing. And every long arm in the market, when I'm talking long arms, every long arm in the market except for Bernina uses a industrial needle. Industrial needle has a round shaft. You put that needle in just a fraction of an inch off, you're going to have timing issues. We eliminated that because Bernina uses domestic needles. We do not use industrial needles. They're just as strong, and in some cases stronger than industrial needles. So it has a flat back. You cannot put that needle in wrong. That's going to help you with timing. So we eliminated a lot of the timing issues that we have, that the other brands have. So we eliminated that. The second one was stitch regulation. If you're familiar with, how many here own another brand, a long arm, has a brand of long arm? Okay. You mind if I ask what you have? Okay. Okay, there you go. Well, everybody uses what they call an encoder. Now, let me explain to you what an encoder is. An encoder is a wheel on the back and on the side of the machine. When you move that machine, that encoder has wires that goes back and plugs into the back of the machine that actually tells the stitch regulation how fast to go. Encoders get dirty. They get sticky. I know there's been a few times where before I went to work for Bernina, we had to send a technician out to fix a couple of encoders, and somebody had left a sucker on the track and the encoder got sticky. So it was skipping stitches. They thought the machine was messed up, so we had to clean it. You have to keep them clean. You have to make sure that they're working properly. They can actually go, the mechanical parts of those can go bad. There's a spring in some of them. The spring can stretch out and it will pop up, so it doesn't hold it down. So there's a lot of problems with the encoders, and stitch regulation is a big issue that service departments have to deal with, and it's normally the encoder problem. We use optics. That means let me see if I can get a picture up here. If you take a look at what we have right there, you see there's two windows there that actually you see that is in the foot plate, or the needle plate. And in there, those are optics. That reads the fabric when it goes by and tells our stitch regulation how fast to go and how slow to go. We don't have the issues that a lot of people have with the stitch regulation problem because it's right on top of it's right underneath the fabric, and the fabric runs across it, and you won't have those issues. So that's the good thing. That's another issue that we eliminated. The other issue that we had was our tension. That everybody had was tension, not us, because we actually use the tension out of the Bernina sewing machines inside the machine, and everybody else has a tension guide outside. It is a spring that you actually turn, or a knob you turn, and when you load it. So every time you change when you change out the thread, you have to adjust your tension on everybody else's. Ours, we normally keep it right around about 4.00, and you don't have the problem that you have with anything. Most of the threads that you put in there, you don't even have to change the tension, just like a sewing machine. So if you change a thread on your sewing machine, how often do you have to change the tension? Not very often, because we do. And so our tension guide is inside the machine, and when you look at our machine, you can see that it looks different. We don't have the tension on the outside; it's on the inside. So it's just like a regular sewing machine. So you don't have those issues. Those three issues alone have gotten Bernina cut down all service calls, most of the service calls, to actually hardly any service calls. Because those service calls that other brands have take up all their time. We don't have those issues anymore. We don't have them. So it's an easy fix that we can do. Now, if you look here, it shows your tension there. You're able to adjust the speed, the BSR speed, all of that with it. I'm trying to get to where we need to be. And so basically those three issues we eliminated. So if you have a long arm and it's not a Bernina, those are 3 issues that you're normally going to have in stitch regulation problems, it's timing problems, and it's going to be tension problems. So we have eliminated most of those service calls that the dealer has to make, and it's making your life a lot easier. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have some of those issues. We do. But a lot of it may be the thread or the fabric they're using. They're not using the correct needle. Let me touch on this. The reason we use domestic needles and how that helps you. If you want to do a t-shirt quilt, you now can use a ballpoint needle. If you want to do a little canvas, you can use a jean needle. You can actually change the needle just like you do in your sewing machine for what you're sewing on. And that gives you the ability to do more and to have that. Also, you can actually use a twin needle. Twin needle actually gives you that echo effect, and it gives you the ability to go around. And because of the twin needles gives you the ability to do a lot more and make it look a little different. Some of the other things that you can do because you have a domestic needle is we have a needle threader, which nobody else has. We actually have a needle threader on the machine. You can pop down, and instead of trying to put that thread through that hole, I know that's why I got these cheaters. Then you can, we have a needle threader that allows you to do that. So you don't really have to have that problem. Some of the other things that we did, the lighting. We actually put 50 LED lights on our Q16, on our Q20, and on the Q24. They have 50 LED lights, so the lighting is really good wherever you move your machine. You don't have the shadows shining down. So those lightings is very, very good. Our handlebars are, let me go back. Our handlebars are actually, we actually have the handlebars are programmable, and they can move in different directions. So they're just not just sitting there for one direction. You actually can move each handlebar. For example, if you're right-handed or left-handed and you want to do ruler work, you can move the one out of the way, and you can actually put your hand on the ruler, and you can move the machine. So and they can move up and down all the way around, and they're programmable. You can actually program those handlebars. They're fully programmable. So some of the things we can do with our machine is completely different. You have 4 buttons here, and on the screen at the bottom, it actually tells you what those buttons are for, and you can actually program those. If you are right-handed or left-handed, or if you both, it doesn't matter. You can actually have start and stop on each side, and you can have needle up, full rotation, needle down, which to pull up your bobbin thread. You actually can do, and you can have the foot come up and down. Our feet are interchangeable with your hand. You do not need a screwdriver to change your feet. We have close to 12 feet now that work with our machine, and also with the 990, the 7 series, 8 series, all of those, and the 9 series. All of those feet that work with those will work with our machine. Free motion feet. They got to be free motion feet. So we have 3 different ruler feet that we have. We have a 96 foot, which is only for the long arms. That is a ruler foot. We have a 72 foot, which is also a ruler foot that works on Bernina sewing machines and ours, and a 72S, which is a ruler foot which work on Bernina sewing machines and the Q-Series. So there's 12 different feet that you can swap out there. And we also have accessory boxes that you can get. I put this up there because I wanted to say a lot of if you go to buy one of our machines, we do actually give you an we don't give it to you. It's an accessory box that you can get with it. And in that accessory box, I got to watch them saying they're taping. If I say give it, they're going to say, he said give it. No, I didn't say give it. They buy it. You buy it. But in that accessory box, there are so many accessories for the sit down and for the frame models. There are 2 different boxes. Inside those you get the red box goes to the frame. That retails for $3,300. There's probably about $3,500 worth of accessories in there, but retail is $3,300. I'm sure, me being here, she can give you a good deal on it. The second box is a set-down box. That one retails for $2,400, and that is a set-down box for the set-down models. We actually have the set-down models, and I'll talk to you about that also. And you get accessory box. You get that accessory box also. So you can get that also and it has close to $2,700 worth of accessories in it also. So you're saving money when you buy it, even at MSRP, but dealers are giving discounts a little bit. I talked about what the difference is. There are unique features. The color touch screen is one of the differences there. The ease of use, so it's easy to touch the screen, easy to do it. We talked about the stitch regulator, which is my optics. This is the stitch regulator that actually started off with Bernina. And if you own a Bernina sewing machine, you may have that stitch regulator. That's the BSR for domestic machines. We took that technology, moved it over, and it is now in the Bernina. All of our Bernina Q-Series has the two stitch regulation optics in there, as you can see. So we actually did that also, and you can see there they are with the circles around them. There's the feet I was talking about, all the feet, the different feet that you have with it, the 96, the 43, the 42, the 72. There's now 72S. It's not on here. 73, 74. Bernina loves their feet. They really do love their feet. So we have tons of feet for it. This is actually the screen. As you can see, it's a touch screen. Ignore that writing there. I don't know why that's still there. I should have gotten that off of there, but we'll ignore it. There it goes. So there's your tension guide. You want to digitally adjust your tension. If you go from a heavy weight to a lightweight or a lightweight to heavy, you may need to adjust the tension. And you can with the tension guide. And it is at the corner. You touch that screen and your tension will pop up like this. This allows you to adjust that tension at 0.25 intervals. So factory setting is at 4.0. You can address those. You can adjust it up and down. It actually shows you in this corner right here. It shows you there and there. When you adjust it, it goes up and down. It actually shows you how it, if it's raising the lower tension or the top tension, what it's doing. So that gives you the ability to do the tension and adjust the tension. You also can raise your foot. A lot of long arms you can't raise the foot. Some you have to do manually. Ours has an automatic foot raiser, and it will raise your foot. So when you go to, just like your sewing machine, when you go to thread your machine, you want the foot to be up, and then when you start to sew, it automatically lets the foot down for you. You don't have to do it. We have a programmable on our screen. We have a program. The program is there for if you have you want to change the speed, the stitches per inch. You want to change, or you have multiple people using it. I just left a place earlier today that there was 4 ladies using one machine. They have it programmed because one lady likes it. Let's just say Sarah likes it at the tension at 4.25, and she likes 10 stitches per inch, and she likes to use a different type of thread, and so therefore, so she can adjust it and put her name there. And then when she touches her name, it actually pops up and goes to what she how she likes it. Or you can do that with different threads that you like to use. So you can program how you like the machine to go. It gives you a bobbin warning. That means when you're running the machine, it actually helps you, lets you know when you're running out of bobbin. Now it's a counter. So when in the back of your manual, it will tell you the types of thread and how many yards of thread you can put that thread on a Bernina bobbin. You do not have to use Bernina bobbins, but our bobbins are made for our machines. It is an M-class bobbin. You can use M-class bobbins. You can use pre-wound bobbins. It doesn't matter as long as they're M, okay? But this will tell you when you're running out and what you can do. As I said, you have to when you put a new bobbin in, if you know how many yards you have on there, you can actually program the yards in there, and you can set it for the warning if you want to set it at 95 or whatever. So it warns you so you don't run out right away. You want to set it so it will warn you before, so you can move to a position where you know you're about to run out, so you can change your bobbin. So that gives you that ability to do that, and it brings it up and shows you. Our bobbin winder, we actually have a bobbin winder on our machine. It is in the position where there's normally a bobbin, your tension guide on other machines. Ours has a bobbin winder there. It is a separate motor, and you do not have to, it's a separate motor, and you do not have to run your machine while you're doing it because it's a completely separate motor. We have a needle up and needle down position. What that means is you can have the needle, if you prefer, when you stop sewing, the needle will go down, or you can set it to go up if you don't, depending on how you want to do it. So you have that ability to change that. You have the stitch per inch. We have three Bernina stitch regulations, Bernina stitch regulation. And they are, we call it the BSR1, BSR2, and BSR3. As you can see here, BSR1 gives you the Bernina stitch regulation, plus it gives you a jog stitch. That means our jog or cruise. That means the needle is still going to go up and down, but you can control the speed of that needle going up and down, either faster or slower. Now, why would I want to use that? If you want to do micro stippling, you want to keep all the stitches the same, but you're doing really tight, close-up work, that will help you. That will help you keep from missing anything, and it will help you do that. The BSR so the BSR2 stops when you stop. The Bernina stitch regulator 2 stops when you stop. So you have the choice now. When you're using the Q-Matic, the machine will actually go into BSR2 mode. So because you don't want it just sitting there going up and down because you'll get a bird's nest. So basically what you want to do, the BSR2, that is the mode that most people use because it stops when you stop. Ruler work, if you're doing ruler work, if you're doing any kind of free motion or the Q-Matic, that's what you need to use. We also have a BSR3 or Bernina Stitch Regulator 3. This is a basting stitch, and the basting stitch actually gives you a 1 inch, a ½ inch, and a ¼ inch stitch to be able to baste your quilt, and that will allow you to then to go back in and pull those stitches out. But it will allow you to baste that quilt while you have it there. And all of this is also on the set-down model also. And then you have the main mode. Your main is basically a manual. It's a manual mode. Why would I do that? If you're doing thread painting and you don't care about the length of the stitches, or if you if you feel like you have a speed that you feel comfortable doing and you're just going with it, a lot of people do not use stitch regulation. I think that's changing though, but most people that quilted years ago that didn't have stitch regulation, now it gives you the opportunity to do a manual. So we actually have the manual mode on there also. Now this screen here is actually on the set down models, which is our 16, 16 plus, and our Q20 for set downs. That little domino that you see there, I call it a domino because it's got a black and white. That basically is what we call a kickstart. And what we do with that is that means you do not have to use the foot pedal, because a lot of us have a problem doing this. Or what is it? I haven't do it. It's thinking what your foot's doing and your hands are doing on a set down. So a lot of you have that problem. I do. So this allows me to touch that button, and then I can heel kick the foot pedal, and it actually starts quilting. I can then move. It will not quilt until I move my quilt, until I move the quilt, and then it will start, because the set down models also have stitch regulation built into the needle plate. So you're able to use the stitch regulation mode and do all of that also. So that allows you to do that. And there's the heel kick. You can actually program the foot pedal, just like you said you could program the handlebars. You can program the foot pedal to do the same thing. It can be a start and stop button for you. It could be it could actually be the tie down. You can have which is one full rotation, goes down, picks up the bobbin thread, brings it up. You can actually do one half rotation, needle down or needle up, and you can do the foot up and down. And there it is. There's the position that you need to do the heel kick. Don't push it down. You just take your heel and just kick it. And so that gives you the position on the foot pedal that you need to do that. We talked about the programmable on the long arm, on the frame models, on the handlebars. Well, the bottom, when it has a frame model, you'll see the bottom four, those that has the square around it, the red square. Those allow you to program each of those buttons, because there's 2 buttons on each handlebar, a 1 and a 2, and those allow you to program those to whatever you want them to be programmed to. From here, the full up and down, which is the full rotation, pull up the bobbin. You have a half rotation, and you have the start and stop, or you have the foot going up or down. That allows you to control that. We also give you a home button on the screen. And on the screen with the home button, it actually when you go in there, it gives you videos. If you've got, how do I thread this machine? I haven't used it in a few days. I forgot how to thread it. It gives you a video on how to thread the machine. Actually, a video is on your screen. So it also gives you videos on how to clean it,
what to do, how to oil it. I'll have to say, and we can talk about that. It also gives you, if you see here, the twin needle. It gives you a video on how to do the twin needle. As you can see there, we have a twin needle there. So we're able to do that echo effect, 2 needles at one time. So that gives you the ability to do that. Now, some of the things also that I did not mention in this short presentation that I did is, again, we give you the ability to, it is simple, easy maintenance on our machine. A lot of machines, you have to oil them in different locations. You get oil on your quilt. You get oil all over. Ours, you oil in one place. Maintenance on our machine, you take your thumb and there is a circle on that needle plate. You pop that needle plate up, you open it up, you pull the bobbin case out, and you have a knob on the side of my machine, which is right here. You see that knob is there. And with that knob there, it gives you the ability to push and turn. Now, if I take this and I turn it, nothing happens. But if I push it and turn it, the needle goes up and down. Okay? So what that allows you to do then is to move the hook into position where you can then oil that hook. That's the only place you oil my machine, is in the hook. You don't have to do anything else. I suggest you do it depending on what type of thread you're using. If you're using a polyester thread, I would do it after every 2 to 3 bobbins. If you're using a cotton thread, I do it probably after every 1 to 2 bobbins. I would then, depending on how you know how cotton threads can get a little linty, depending how much lint's down there, clean it out, oil it after every 2 bobbins. You should be good. If you haven't used it in a day, before you use it that morning, oil it. You can hear the machine when it needs oil. It'll tell you. But most of the time, you're good after every 2 to 3 bobbins. You should be good oiling that machine. That's all you have to do maintenance-wise on this machine. That's all you have to do. So but unless you hit something, you hit a ruler, use an error, then you're going to need a service call. So that's why I would buy the service contract. How's that? I talked about your service contract. All right, good. You have to buy the service contract. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that everything in this machine is so easy to use and not a lot of maintenance, not a lot of problems, and it's just so easy. We eliminated all the issues you have with every other machine out there. We've eliminated most of those issues, and you don't have the issues you have with other brands and other models because you don't have you don't have the timing issues because you can't put the needle in wrong. You don't have the stitch regulation issues that you have with the other because we're not using encoders, we're using optics. You don't have the tension issue because you don't have that spring on the side. It's inside the machine, just like a regular sewing machine, because you don't have a lot of tension issues on your sewing machine. So that's why we eliminated those problems, and that's why Bernina is what Bernina is today. That's why we're the fastest growing long arm company in the world. We have grown so large, and if y'all have any questions, we'd also have a Q-Matic. I haven't touched on the Q-Matic, but we can do that after we do some answer questions, and because she's coming back up here. Go ahead. Come on.
Now's your chance.
If you got questions,
ask him anything you want.
If you have one, I would love to answer.
Vince is one of my favorite people at Bernina, which says a lot because I actually love everybody at Bernina. So ask him anything you want. Can I kick off the questions?
You can.
Okay. Tell us about the way you haven't hit Q-Matic too much, but can you tell us a little bit about the belt system on that machine that makes it different?
Yeah. I was going to touch on Q-Matic in a little bit after we did that, but Q-Matic basically is a system we have here, and you also, with the Q-Matic system, you get the Dell computer. That's a touchscreen computer, and it actually comes with Art and Stitch, which is a designing system, which you can actually put on a laptop also, and you can sit there and you can design your own quilts. I had a lady one time bring me a quilt. I was telling them, everywhere I go, I got people I've sold machines to. And a lady brought me a quilt back about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago now, and she said, you sold me my quilt 4 years ago. My grandson graduated from high school. I wanted to make him a t-shirt quilt. She took a truck that he drew in kindergarten, scanned it in, and made a stitch out of it, and it was all done on the stitching. So you can do just about anything. So yeah, and there's a belt system that we use. We use our belts, and it's got heavy-duty motors and pulleys under there that actually read and pull it. With our belt, there's wires in there, so these belts do not stretch. They're heavy-duty, and we actually we test everything that goes into this, so it allows you to do that. Also, you can actually, with the belt system, you can use that also as to stop the machine. If you just want a straight line, you can do a straight line. You can unhook one and do some machine, sewing straight lines, front, back, and everything. We also have a ton of accessories that go with the frames also, so we can talk to you about that. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Hoop frame. No,
Her
ma'am, I
question
didn't.
was, what's the new Bernina hoop frame? I don't have it.
glad
I'm
you brought
sorry,
that up.
Vince.
Huh?
I'm sorry, I don't have it.
That's okay. You need to get it.
I do.
Okay. The new Bernina hoop frame, yes, it's a 5-foot frame. It allows you to do a king-size quilt. It will take the 16-inch, 16 plus, a 16. There's a Q16 and a Q16 plus. There's the 16 plus over there. The Q16, the reason we have it will go on there and it will work. The Q16 plus, though, will go on it and also work perfectly on the Q. But you can put a Panto kit on the 16 plus. You cannot put one on the 16. Bernina's answer, the Bernina answer is no. It only takes the 16.
But that's what the studio frame is really great for then. If you haven't seen the studio frame and you're considering hoop frame for, like, are you talking about taking it out of the table into the thing? Yeah, I know the size. This is 8 foot.
No, that's 5 foot and 10 foot.
Oh, sorry, 5 foot and 10 foot, but the other one is 5 foot, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
We can talk. We'll
Yeah.
talk about that later. The frame alone, MSRP is $39.99. MSRP,
Yes.
which is retail. So that's, I don't give other prices. I'll let the dealer take care of that.
And that's the price until, I actually spoke with Paul yesterday, and his answer was not until May for
Yes.
price increases.
Yes.
So not until May for any price increases, but May will bring price increases, May 1st.
Not everything though. We'll see we'll kind of see. I don't know. It may be everything. Who knows? Because I'm not in those talks, so I don't know. But yes, the hoop frame's a great frame. If you have a set down and you want to go to a frame model, that is a great starter to get there. And then when you get more room, you'll want to jump up to either the big frame or the bigger or the pro frame, either the studio or pro. But that's okay. It gives you the ability to do a full size quilt, a king size quilt, a queen size quilt on the hoop frame. So yes.
So it's a circular.
No, it is actually a square frame. Yeah, it sounds like it's a circular hoop. What it is, let me explain. What it is, if you see these two frames we have here, you actually roll the fabric on there. So the bottom, the backing is on one roll, the batting is then put on, and then the top is put on, and then you sew it on that way. With this frame, you have to put it together, and then you put it on the frame, and there are clamps that go on, that goes around. So what you do is when you clamp it, then you do that section. Then you unclamp it, you move it, and you do another section. On a queen-size quilt with a 16-inch head, I believe it's 16 times for a queen-size quilt to be clamped. We also have them for the domestic machines also, but you're looking at a 7 series or an 8 series, you're looking at a queen-size quilt, that'd be about 42 times that you have to, so you don't get that much space with it.
Don't
but
do
you get a
that
lot.
to yourself. Just
Yes.
get a 16
Yeah.
or put your other machine on it. It's a novel idea, but it's much better to have the 16 at minimum on the hoop frame.
But it will, yes. But the 16 would be perfect for that. So the 16 plus. So what we can do is talk. But I can talk to you afterwards about.
And
what
believe it or not, the 16 is not that expensive.
No.
It's a very reasonable way to get into the long arm without spending a ton of money. So I'm always shocked at how you guys keep that cost down on the
We're
16.
actually in May having a special. I believe we're using the Black Friday that we did last year special.
Oh.
In May.
Oh.
The 16 on a folding table will be $59.99 nationwide special, and the 16 on a on the 10-foot studio frame will
$89.99.
be $89.99.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
If those prices stay the same.
If they, well, it's already been out there, so hopefully they'll stay the same.
Okay.
Well, we're not going up on the stuff that we already have,
Okay, that's good.
just on new stuff.
That's good.
We're not going to do that.
Question
Yes,
over
ma'am.
here.
Is there someone where you're in Dallas and you can see this demonstrated?
Hopefully.
With the
we'll
what?
have-
The hoop frame?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get the hoop frame.
Let me see what I can find for you. I may have a. Yeah,
Well,
there's videos.
Andy's really good. She looked at me like, don't you look at me like that. That was my mom looking at me. Andy's really, really great at anything long arm. She's been playing really hard with it. Once Vince is done, we can go up and play with her and while we're not on live stream. for her own, so she comes back to work next week. Yes, this is Andy. She's
No, I
awesome.
don't have a picture of it. Sorry.
No.
I don't have a picture of it. Apologize. But that I can pull up real quick. But I can. Yeah, give me afterwards. I can get some information or show you some. There are some videos on there too. I believe you can pull up if he can pull up a video. YouTube Bernina hoop frame. And we have plenty. I think Donna Ballars was one of the persons that did the video, so she's good. So she was really good. So, but any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I have the 16 sit down,
Yes, ma'am.
and I love it. I have HQ16,
Mm-hmm.
and the stitches never looked nice.
Right.
I love the 16. My husband, it's the first time I think he's been happy that I bought it because I'm so happy with it.
You're not yelling.
On some of the groups that I've
Uh-huh.
been on, that where people have the six or any of the Q-matic, not the Q-matic, but the cubes.
Uh-huh.
The problem that some people have said is inside there's a little clip, and they say those break. So I'm wondering what would make that. So I'm
Okay, which clip? Because you're shaking your head. Yes. Which clip is it in the foot plate or the needle plate?
because they show pictures of soap area. It's like right in front of your finger. Right. Oh, it's like somewhere right in here. They said that you can. Do you know where it is? Because I know they said that they can actually.
That.
Oh, right it's like little wire back there.
Oh, okay.
And so
Okay.
my question is, what would make that break so that I won't do that?
A lot of times that your tension may be too high on that, and it could be for some reason they adjusted the tension. I'll have to look and see. I need to talk to you. Don't you leave. The tension, it could be that I think that's part of the tension spring. So that may be again. Let me explain something. It's just like a sewing machine. If you're changing threads, cut it from here and pull from the bottom. Okay. Because it's just like your sewing machine. When you pull from the top, that's what causes the tension spring to go up and down. Yes, it will cause that to do that.
I just want to avoid, doing something that
Right.
I can't.
Are we still streaming? I don't know. But yeah, that's one of the things that you can avoid to do that. They're very rare, but I think they're pulling from the top, and they need to pull from the bottom. So that.
I learned how to from years of having Bernina's to do it the way you're saying.
Yeah.
But I've actually had people recently say, "Oh, it doesn't matter. You don't have to do that anymore." And so
Yeah. No, you have to. On ours, because there's springs on the outside, you can do whatever you want to, but turn it, those because there's springs. So, but on this one here, you cut it from the top, pull from the bottom. When you pull from the top, you stretch. On every sewing machine, which we use the same tension as the sewing machine. So when you pull from the top, you're stretching that tension guide. So yeah, but you stop, don't do that, and you won't have that issue. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
set it for?
BSR 3 only gives you 3 stitches, 3 types. It gives you the half inch. Which? Not much. No, shouldn't be much difference. No, because it's just that was the BSR 3's there because you basting. And we have 1 inch, half inch, and quarter inch. If you set that for 4 on there, then you're going to get a 1/4 inch stitch. Yeah. So, and that's what it is. That's just for basting. We did that. The BSR 3 should be set up at. You shouldn't have it set at all. It comes set. It says 4, 2, and yeah. I see it says 4. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's 4. 1, 2, and 4. Why has it got that one? Yeah.
Gluten-free. I could have it.
That is because the stitches are a little bit longer. Yeah. It's the same length. It reads it better. I'll have to check on that. That's a good question because I haven't heard that question before. I really haven't. No, it reads the stitch regulation reads the same as the BSR 2 and the BSR 1. It reads the same, so you should not have that. And so what we'll have to that might be I'll have to check on that and see if there's there may be something that a technician can tell me that I didn't know. And I don't know everything, but there may be something there.
And that's also a good reason to have Jesse come out and look at your machine. Like, I know that you don't need
Exactly.
service, but if there is something that goes wrong or awry, Jesse can always come out and look at it for you. He's awesome. If you guys haven't met Jesse, he's the best. He's hiding from all of us right now, so we've only broke 2 things today in the store. Vince, I have a question. Talk to me about is the tension actually digital and internal, and how does that work on this machine?
The tension is digitally internal, and it actually adjusts the tension, the top tension digitally. So when you adjust it, when you hit it, you can actually see the tension. It actually gives you like I showed you before, it gives you a thing that goes up and down like this, whether it's top tension or bottom tension, and it shows you the adjustment of that. The bottom tension is the bobbin tension is just like any other thing. You would actually get a TOA gauge with the
You guys
machine.
give them to everyone with the
we give you a
machine,
TOA gauge so you can check.
so you don't have to buy one.
So yeah, you don't have to buy it. So that's your bob. But it is digitally. It does do it digitally, and the inside, the tension does change inside when you turn that. So it could be that there is a adjustment.
That's a good, yeah.
That is, there's adjustment on your tension on BSR 3 that's not on BSR 2 that could be changed just by an adjustment, and that could
I
be
was
that.
thinking that when she asked that, I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe there's something that changes in the tension setting.
But I've never gotten that question before.
Never.
So
When you
never.
asked, I had to think about
I've
it.
been here in years, so that is the first time I've heard that. So that could be what that is. Just need to be adjustment on to set the Bernina 3, BSR 3, and the BSR 2 is set correctly, but the BSR 3 is not. So that may cause a little. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
When you talk about threads,
Mm-hmm.
using different weight thread on top and bottom,
Mm-hmm.
that usually requires a tension.
Yes, that normally requires a tension adjustment on the bottom and on the top. But the top tension normally depends on how close they are, you know. So it depends. I tend to, and everybody, a lot of people tend to like using the same top and top. If you just do, but if you want a different design, a different thing, you can do whatever. I haven't had really a lot of issues with using the different threads. There are a few threads that are. It depends on the thread too and how old the thread is. Just because you buy it in the store yesterday doesn't mean that was sitting in the warehouse from the company that the store bought it from for years. And it could be bad thread. And if you can break it, I mean, I've actually had people come to me and say, look, I'm breaking thread. I said, let me see your thread. And they hand me the thread and I sit there and snap it like that. That's going to be an issue that you're going to have with any machine. But if you use the top and bottom, Same. You can do whatever. But this machine is very, very easy to use, and it's easy to adjust.
Well, I have that, and I have a ton of 50-weight thread,
Mm-hmm.
as we all do. And I got on the 60-40, no,
Yeah.
60-80.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, because the finer thread, you get so much more on the bottom.
Right.
And then it doesn't, the polyester doesn't,
Yeah.
a lot of lint.
No, you shouldn't have. Yeah. The lint.
So
Yeah.
typically I lower the tension.
Mm-hmm.
And
You're just going to have to play with it when you're using different thread on bottom and top. You have to play with it more. But it's easy to adjust. We make it very easy to adjust the top and the bottom. So yeah. Any other questions? Wow, y'all a smart group.
She was asking how long would it take to do, so that quilt that's around the TV is vintage. It was done by hand. Can you guys believe that? But if you were to do something like that on a long arm, well, that's a good question. Andy, how long did it take you to go in and do the borders and sashings on that blue and white quilt up there?
I would say hours. When you're doing, like for that quilt you were just talking about, if you were going to crop around each of those
Yes.
flowers, that takes time because you can only kind of do it one at a time.
Oh, no, you could do it faster than that, but then you're doing custom quilting. You're charging a lot more for custom quilting.
Just do a crosshatch using Q-matic on that quilt.
No,
There's
10.
no-
2 hours. It
Yeah.
was pretty quick.
Yeah. I mean, you can do a queen size quilt, and if you just do edge to edge, probably an hour, 2 hours.
Andy, tell them you said there was a feature that you were like, this is my favorite new feature. Which one was that?
One of there's several.
Several.
The quilt, the product I have doesn't have is when you set up your edge to edge and you're getting ready to stitch what's in your frame space and you trim the edges so it just stitches the area that you want it to stitch. It doesn't stitch way off onto your backing. You can do that each time you advance the quilt. So as your quilt, maybe your quilt's not exactly perfectly square, or as you quilt and it draws in the fabric just a little, each time you roll the quilt, you get to recrop. Other brands, you crop the whole thing at the beginning and you just hope you've given yourself enough extra on the edges outside of your quilt top to accommodate for it.
Oh, can you do that within 24 hours? Yes. In fact, like how many hours do you think it took you to do the borders and sashings on there? 2 or 3 hours? Yeah.
I just want to be able to tell a client,
Yes. And
24 or 48 hours, you'll have a quilt.
that's what I like about Andy being our teacher is that she quilts for hire. She's quilting for Rick right now. Yeah, she does it for hire. So she has a little bit of perspective on being a hobbyist and also quilting for hire, which is great. So she got into it as a hobbyist, but then started doing it for other people. She's fabulous at it. Ellie's just trying to give her a microphone, and she's going to walk out on us. What else? Did I miss anything?
No, I've covered a lot of things. The Q-matic system is very, very easy to do edge to edge because it connects it for you, and you can size it, and you can fit it into the areas. Another telemarketer.
I've gotten telemarketers all day. I don't know what's going on.
I'm getting them all day.
Yeah.
I'm getting 100 today. So the edge to edge, we actually have, if you're doing blocks, we have a thing called morphing boundaries, and inside those blocks, if you got, say you have 5 blocks across the quilt, they're not all going to be the same size, although you think they are. If you put the same size image in those blocks with the Q-matic, you're going to see that they're different sizes. But you can morph those images to fit in that block, and it will trick the eye and make you think that those blocks are the same size. It does that for you. So that gives you the ability to do that also in morphing. We also have what we call masking, which you can take an image, and if you do applique or you do like flowers that you see here, and you want to sew around that, you can actually take an image and have it sew around those images and not sew over those images. And that's called masking. We have that available. We have so much in here you can do. It's just so much. It would take me all day just to show you, and you would remember all of it. That's why we have videos online.
That's what Skill Hub is for.
what Skill Hub is.
Tell us about Skill Hub. Like, when did you guys develop that? How long ago did that come out?
Skill Hub's been out for a while, but the Q-Series has not been on there until January. January was the first. We had to get some videos, and it took us time to make videos of Amanda and other people that are on there to do these Skill Hub events, the Skill Hub videos. And now we released it in January, and we're still adding videos, and we got a lot more to add. But the Skill Hub gives you a ton of anything you want to do. And like she said, you got 2 years to use it, and anything you want to do, long arm or Q-matic is in the, and it would show you exactly how to do it, and you can go back to back to back and watch it. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. We have a creative center in Bernina. They do classes for the public. They probably do, I don't know how many they do. I'm not sure. It's
Few a year.
Six to 10 a year. Actually, it might be in our the
Sharon's
planning
going to
guide.
one coming
The
up.
planning guide. Yes, but you better get on there quick because they sell out very fast. Well, there is a place that they recommend you stay, and they have shuttles going back and forth to there, but you have to pay for your hotel. But they do have packages where you can get. Some of these classes are a week long. Some of them are 3 days.
Just depends on the
class.
product. Yeah.
Depends on what you're looking for. Yeah, but they're also classes. A lot. You can take those classes, but you got to get in them quick because there's a lot of people they fill up fast. So it may take you a year to 2 years to get in one. So, but you have to check and see because they really fill up fast, depending on what you're looking for too.
That's why we try to bring people here.
Yeah.
We're working on it. That's why Vince came, because we're working on bringing more people here than we have in the past. Susan was an initiative we started last year. I met her totally by just happenstance. She came, was doing an event, and then I found out she was like the Taylor Swift of quilting. That's what I call her. And she's just, does anybody get that reference in here? She's awesome. But again, her thing is really free motion, which I know a lot of y'all like free motion and ruler work and things like that. So bringing her in was a commitment that I made. She comes all the way from Washington, very far away. She's amazing. But we are working on bringing in more Q-matic people. Yes, it's our goal for this year. So I told Vince this is the exact conversation I had with him on the phone a few weeks ago. I said, we've done really well with Susan and people really like her, but I need someone more computer-based.
We have them. We can bring in some people here to do half a day, a full day.
Yes.
Whatever you need, we can have people brought in to do events and show you and train your people and work with y'all on that. Also, it depends on if it's a class full of owners or a class full of people who don't own it but want to. So it depends on the class that we do.
Yeah, so we are working on that. We're pretty, for the next few months, we're really Bernina heavy. We have an E16 event in May, and then June, I think we go to, when's BU? We go to BU in June. That was my next question. What, and then we're doing a What's New with BU here at the store afterwards. Anything you can tease, anything new from the Q-Series? He was shaking his head.
The hoop frame right now, I can't tell you anything else.
Okay. Well, I try to get that same stuff out of Debbie Lashbrook, and she never tells me anything either. So
We are bound.
you guys are NDAs,
Yes.
non-disclosures.
Not tell you.
Is it because it's proprietary that you're coming up with something?
They always come up with new things. They're always innovating.
That was a secret for a long time.
This was a secret, and this was an industry disruptor. That's what I like to call this
was.
thing,
It
an
was.
industry disruptor. It really changed the industry in a drastic way because all the other brands tried to keep up and really couldn't. I can say that now. So okay, well, I'm going to give away 2 tickets for Susan. Each ticket is good for 2 people, so you can bring a friend. If you don't have a friend, it's okay. We'll make you friends. We'll find you friends at the thing. So this is for 2 tickets to Susan. She's coming June? Yeah, oh yeah, and we have BU, and then we have Susan coming in June. So May is E16, June is Susan plus BU plus a BU event. July, I'll maybe get around to a grand opening. I don't know. Paul keeps asking me when I'm gonna have a grand opening. I can't give him an answer. Okay, so here's the first one, 969440. Come on, Larry. No? Did they leave? Okay. Are you 440? Oh, I think I revoke my ticket. Just kidding. Yay, Rick! Yay! Okay, you have to come now. 969446. Woo! Fun. I just screamed into that microphone, you guys. Okay, keep your ticket. Tell Jackie up front that you won the Susan event, and she'll let you into it. Okay, I was going to say something else. I am brain dead today. I've had a bag of chips, so that's what I've had. What time is it? Am I doing well?
4 o'clock.
Oh,
4.
nice. Okay, so last thing I was going to say is Andy doesn't give herself enough credit, but she has really learned a lot about this machine. With the help of this one right here, okay, they're best friends now. What we love is come in, work with Andy because she's learning, and I think the best way to learn is together. So no one wants to come learn from someone that's a know-it-all, and Andy, even though she says she doesn't, I don't know, she knows, okay, I promise you, or she'll find the answer. So come work with Andy, spend some time with her. She's amazing. She really, if she doesn't know something, she really takes the time to figure out why or how or where she can learn that from. So she's amazing. So if we're in between events or anything, you can schedule one-on-ones with Andy if you haven't already. If you didn't buy your Q6 or Q whatever from us, we offer the service contract that's also called our adoption program. So if you didn't buy your Q-Series from us, but you want to come learn about Q-Series and take one-on-one lessons, our adoption program gives you access to so many things. Number one, you get access to Jesse. He will come to your house. We have moved these things before from room to room. It's not easy to do that because they don't fit through a doorway. We're unbuilding them, rebuilding them. That's included with the service contract. All of your lessons are included with service contract too. If something is wrong, this is not an easy thing to bring in, so he will go to your house no matter how far. I've flown Jesse places before on Southwest flights. So, you know, it's Texas. We're rural. We got to work with what we got around here. So I've flown him. One time it was going to take him longer to drive than fly, so the Southwest flight was like $140, so I just put him on that instead. He was there and back within the afternoon. So he's really, really good. And also, Elias is not supposed to be good at this, but he installed our Q-Matic because Jesse's so dang busy. He installed our Q-Matic in a day and a half. Wow. And it worked perfectly. So great instructions for rebuilding these things. It's not supposed to be his thing, but we have a great team of people here. I can't stress that enough. My favorite things about the Q-Series are that I never have to hear anybody complain about their machine, and that's a big deal for me. If I've sold other things before, and it's been constant sending Jesse places for the needle being in wrong, or the foot falling off and breaking, or other things that just are totally avoidable. So from my point of view, anytime I don't have to hear from you guys frustrated about your machine not working, that's the machine I want to sell. So once we set these up, they're pretty dang good for a while. You do need to you should service them. They're not cheap machines, so don't treat them poorly. I have to tell you the funniest thing. A girl came into a class the other day, and she bought a machine on Temu. It was $30, and everything inside of it was plastic. Everything. And Jesse was trying to fix it. I go, Jesse, what are you doing? He goes, I was just trying to help her out. I go, chalk this one up to experience. We don't spend $30 on machines. So you invest in the machine, invest in having Jesse service it every once in a while too. It doesn't take him forever to do it. If you do have the Q-Matic on there, he'll come out and do the Q-Matic service as well. It's a really great way to keep your machine running. These things will run for forever and ever and ever. Ours gets the least love because Jesse's always busy with other things. So it's a good way to just make sure that your investment stays protected. But Amanda Murphy, sign up for that. You will love her. I promise you. She's loved. She's the darling of the industry. She's great. Fun fact, my mom sold her first machine.
Oh,
She's from Florida, and my mom, she walked into my mom's store. She had her mother's old machine. She wanted to upgrade. She wanted a Bernina. My mom didn't sell Bernina at the time, and my mom sold her a Baby Lock, her first machine. And then she eventually went over to the Bernina side.
she's a Bernina expert.
But she's from Tampa, where I'm from, and my mom also, Suki Soes, who is the serger person, was my mom's store manager for many years. So my mom is an incubator of great ideas. If you haven't met her, she's scary and she's great all at the same time. She's awesome. But anyway, if you have any questions, let us know. But I'd love if Andy would let you guys play with the machine hands-on. If anybody wants to come up and work on some stuff, please do so. Vince, you got to put like a D&D, do not disturb, on your phone or something.
You can't hear it.
Oh, all day long. I'm approved for a $57,000 loan. Did you know? And I'm like,
yeah.
where is it?
Where's my money?
Yeah, all day long. We just wanted to call and let you know the approval process is through. I'm like, okay. So anyway, any other questions, please let us know. But Andy, would you mind like just letting people play up here? Okay, and then we can play, ask questions, try some different things. And we've got a camera up here too, so maybe we'll just switch to that for now, Elias, and we'll have fun. Okay. Thank you, Vince.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, by the way, I mentioned earlier, if you've got a Bernina and you have a quilt you did, if you want to do a video, if you want to do one of those 30-second videos, say, hey, Vince, this is what I did on my Q24 with Q-Matic, and have it hang and show it and do that, please do that. You can do it on your phone, and you can actually email it to me, or I'll give you my email, or you can come in here and they'll be happy to do it and email it to me. So my email is, it's very easy, vnutt, N-U-T-T, at BerninaUSA.com. Told you it was easy. Just do a 30-second, just, hey, Vince, look what I did on my Q20.
You probably need to tell them why, because I don't.
Oh, they weren't here when they did it. Okay, you got it. While I'm doing that is because I've been in this industry for so long that every show I go to and everywhere I go, I have people walking up and say, Vince, you sold me my long arm so many years ago. Look what I did. And I get that all the time. So I'm trying to get Bernina to do a promotion to do that. And the more I get videos I can send. I was at a store this morning on the other side of town, way over there. I had two ladies walk in that I had sold the machine to at Houston. And so they came up and said, look, this is what I did. So they actually did the video. I filmed it on my phone, but they're gonna, so if you can just send that to me, if you wanna do that, just tell me, say, hey Vince, look what I did on my Q, whatever it is. My name is, you can give me your first name and the town and the area you're from, and then just say, this is what I did, and you can give a short little 30-second little video and send it to me. That way it'll get sent to me. It'll go over, it won't be that long. And I'm gonna turn it in. We're trying to do a promotion where we can have people come into the stores and do videos, 30-second videos. Hey, look what I did on my Q-Series, and send it to us. That's what we're trying to do. So that'd be great. I haven't got it approved yet. Y'all are gonna do it and just, give me the next few weeks. It may be announced at BU. I don't know, which is in June. We may start it in June. But I'm just telling y'all to do it. I only talked to 2 dealers about it, so I've actually talked to. We're trying to get it approved. Marketing is trying to get it approved right now to see what the legal thing is on it. I don't know. Yeah. So we'll see.
How was it, Diane? How was it?
Oh, good, yeah. He's great.
Yes, ma'am.
Played around with my friend's long arm, which is a handicap.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm not a big Bernina fan because I don't feel like they're very user-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Everything's right on the front screen. It's very simple and easy to use.